You were standing in front of your elder brother Jimmy. Your arms were crossed and lips were pouting in protest as he leaned lazily against the back of the sofa, scrolling on his phone with a smug grin that annoyed you even more. Opa, please just once give me a ride on your new bike. You tugged at his sleeve dramatically, your voice rising in that playful whining tone you knew irritated him the most. Without even sparing you a glance, he scoffed, Aish, why Anya? You are not a little anymore. You have grown up. He waved you off, but his next words made your jaw drop. And besides, you have grown up. It is uncomfortable when you sit behind me now. People think that you are my girlfriend. Yeah, how you talk about me like that, huh? He chuckled lowly, eyes glimmering with mischief, his teasing smirk widened. You groaned dramatically, stomping your foot, and in one swift motion, you slapped him on his shoulder. Now take this. You deserved it, elder brother. You shoot back, smirking proudly. He placed his hand on his hair like a scolding parent, leaning closer. You are lucky. I am your oppa. Otherwise, I would have punished you for this. You scoffed, clenching your tiny hands into fists. Oh! You stared at his annoyingly handsome face with his perfectly styled hair that he always treated like a sacred treasure. An idea sparked in your head, your lips curled. Now let's see who punishes whom better. You suddenly step forward with a naughty smirk playing on your lips. You ruffled his neatly styled hair with both hands. Hey! His scream echoed in the living room like a thunderclap, his face twisted in horror, scrambling to fix his hair, but you only laughed harder. Do you even know how long it takes me to style this every morning? Oh, relax, Opa. You teased your laughter filling the room. He froze for a second, blinking, and then narrowed his eyes in mock rage. Suddenly, he lunged towards you. You squealed. Let go, Opa! You shouting, trying to pull free. Not until you apologize for touching my hair. He demanded, tugging at your hair in retaliation. Never. The two of you ended up in the most ridiculous sibling wrestling match. Both of you shouting and cursing each other. It was chaotic, but then suddenly the sound of the front door unlocking silenced both of you instantly. You froze mid pull and Jimin's grip loosened slightly as the door opened. It was Belu, your beautiful best friend, who was standing in the doorway, her almond shaped eyes widening in shock at the sight of the two of you. Oh my! She gasped, her hand covering her mouth. Your jaw dropped while Jimmy's eyes went wide, and like lightning, he instantly released your hair and straightened up, brushing himself off as if nothing happened. Ah, Belusi, you came without informing me? His tone was suddenly warm, polite, and almost nervous. You looked at him suspiciously. Before Belu could respond, you cut in sharply. Excuse me, she's my friend. Why would she inform you? Jimin shot you a warning glare, subtly motioning for you to stay quiet. Belu laughed softly, walking in gracefully. Jimina, you have grown up. Don't find me my bestie like that. It doesn't suit you too. Jimin, desperate to look good, nodded obediently. Ah, yeah, sorry, won't happen again. You rolled your eyes dramatically, flipping your hair with an exaggerated sigh. We will see about that. Good. By the way, while entering, I saw a new bike parked outside. Is it yours, Jimin? You groaned inwardly. Jimin's face lit up like a Christmas tree. He straightened proudly. Ah, yes, I bought it a week ago. It is my baby. It is so cool. Wow, congratulations. Can you maybe give me a ride later? She asked hesitantly as she loves bike rides. Your brother practically melted on the spot. His smile was so wide that it looked like it could split the face in half. Hee hee, I will be glad to do that, Belusi, any time. Know that it was it for you. You furrowed your eyebrows, picked up your slipper from the floor. So now you won't feel uncomfortable if it is her sitting behind you, hmm? Belu blinked in confusion. He didn't give you a ride, bestie? She asked. Jimin face drained of color and he looked at you, gesturing to zip up your mouth, but it was too late. You smirked evilly and spilled every single detail word by word. Oppa said he won't give me a ride because I have grown up. Belu's mouth fell open in shock. What? How could you say this to her? Jiminy turned red instantly. That's not Aish. I'm going to my room. He muttered and rushed upstairs to his bedroom, making both of you laugh. Billy spoke between her laugh. You made him feel so embarrassed, Vayanshi. You rolled your eyes dramatically. Serves him right. Now he knows what happens when he messes with me. You both laughed again, and after climbing down, you turned to her casually. Bestie, I'm feeling so hungry. I'm gonna make noodles for myself. Tell me if you want to. Billy smiled brightly. Of course, I can never say no to your handmade food. You smiled, and then you both walked to the kitchen. You tied your hair into a quick, messy bun, rolling up your sleeves as you reached for the noodle packet. Belu, as always, hopped onto the marble counter, effortlessly swinging her legs as she watched you with a soft smile. Your cooking skills are excellent. Jimin must be spoiled. You chuckled, filling the pot with water. Ha, spoiled! He still complains every time I cook. As the water started boiling, Belu suddenly leaned back on her hands. Oh, by the way, my brother Jungkook bought a new bike yesterday. Your hand froze midway, holding the packet of noodles. Belu tilted her head, oblivious to your reaction. She knew you had feelings for her brother as she had caught you staring at him several times. I don't even know what he will do with so many bikes. He already has 7. Sometimes I wonder if he loves them more than people. Your cheeks burned instantly at the mere mention of Jungkook. You quickly turned your face away, pretending to search for something in the cabinets. 7 bikes. That is impressive, I guess. You mumbled awkwardly, reaching for the small salt container on the top shelf. You grabbed it a little too quickly, hoping Belu wouldn't notice your sudden flustered expression. But of course she noticed. Hey, wait, why are your ears red? Do you perhaps like my brother? You spun around too fast, almost dropping the salt. What? No, I was just. It is hot in here. The stove, the steam. You babbled, pouring the noodles into the boiling water to avoid her knowing smirk. She chuckled knowingly but let it slide, stirring her nails against the countertop casually. Fine, fine. I won't tease you for now. Anyway, tonight let's go out, hmm? Convince Europa to let you. We'll grab some soju at the new rooftop bar near Hongdae. You smiled at the thought of a night out. Okay, deal, I will work my magic on him. Within minutes, the kitchen was filled with the savory aroma of cooked noodles. You added a sprinkle of garnish, poured the broth into bowls, and handed one to Belu. Mmm, looks delicious. She said, clasping her hands like a child. You both sat at the small dining table, slurping noodles and laughing about random things, just girly talks. After the comforting meal and long gossip session, Bilu finally stood up, brushing off her jeans. Okay, I should head home now. Text me once you convince you're him. Hmm? You grinned and nodded. I will. See you tonight. As soon as the front door shut behind her, you took a deep breath and tiptoed towards Jimin's room. You knocked slightly. Opa, can I come in? Jimin yelled from inside. What now, Ryan? I am busy. Rolling your eyes, you pushed the door open anyway. He was laying on the bed, scrolling on his phone, completely uninterested. Opa, I need a favor. If it is about that bike ride again, forget it. No, 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 not that. You stumped closer to his bed and sat down beside him. I want to go out with Belu, please. That caught his attention. He turned to glance at you suspiciously. What? At night? Absolutely not. You groaned, throwing yourself back dramatically on his bed. Opa, come on. It is just Soja and Belu will be there. You like Belu, don't you? What does that have to do with anything? You smirked shyly, leaning closer. Because I noticed something. What you noticed? I think Belu likes you too. You whispered it like it was the biggest secret in the world. Jimin instantly sat up straight, eyes wide. What? She does? You nodded seriously, hiding your mischievous grin. Yes, Sopa, so if I spend more time with her tonight, I will find out for sure. I am doing this for you, Opa. He stared at you for a long moment, clearly torn between his instinct to keep you home and his hope for Belu. Finally, he gave up. Fine, but come back early, and if anything happens, call me immediately. Got it? You squealed. Thank you, Opa. You are the best. He rolled his eyes dramatically, gently patting your back. Yeah, yeah, just don't cause trouble. Don't worry, Opa. I won't cause any trouble. You said, giggling, and walked out of his room. The sky outside had dimmed to a soft dusky purple, and the warm glow of the living room lights painted everything in a cozy hue. You were fixing your hair in the hallway mirror when suddenly you heard a knock on the door. Your heart skipped a beat. Coming, you called out, quickly rushing down the stairs. You swung open the door casually, but only to freeze in shock. There he was, Jungkook. The tall, effortlessly handsome man stood there in his black leather jacket, dark jeans hugging his frame perfectly, his signature silver hoop earrings glinting under the porch light. His sharp jawline looked even sharper tonight, and his messy hair fell slightly over his forehead, giving him that dangerously alluring biker vibe. Your breath hitched, your cheeks immediately heated up. He noticed. Of course he did. A slow teasing smirk spread across his lips. How are you? His voice was low and husky, sending shivers straight down your spine. I am fine, you stammered. Your breath mingled now, warm and uneven. Your cheeks were red due to shyness, and the feeling only happened to you. His kiss flickered briefly down to your lip before returning to your eyes, and that smirk deepened. What is wrong? His voice was teasing but low enough. Your throat went dry. You gulped. For a moment it was silent, and then you heard Jimin's voice from upstairs. Why ain't she? Who is at the door? His loud voice shattered the moment instantly. You panicked. It is your friend, Opa! You shouted back, voice higher than usual. Jungkook chuckled quietly at your flustered state. You darted past him in a rush, cheeks burning, and ran straight into the kitchen to busy yourself with anything, literally anything, only to avoid eye contact. From the corner of your eye, you saw Jungkook standing there in the doorway, hands in his pockets. You gulped and quickly looked down. Just then, Jimin came down the stairs, his expression lighting up when he spotted Jungkook. Oh, Jungkook, yeah, you are here. Come out, I will show you my new bike. Jungkook nodded, but not before shooting you one last lingering glance over his shoulder. His gaze sharp, amused, and laced with something that made your stomach flip. Then he followed Jimmy outside, leaving you gripping the edge of the kitchen counter. Your heart was still racing. Time skipped in the evening, the sound of your heels click against the polished floor as you came downstairs clutching your small glittery clutch bag. Jimin was lying lazily across the couch, a half-eaten pizza slice dangling from his hand. His eyes glued to the TV. He looked at you and said, "Hey, don't forget to ask Belu about her feelings for me, okay?" He called out, his mouth full. You rolled your eyes playfully. "Yes, Sopa, stop being so desperate." He shot you a glare. "I am serious. If she says she likes me, text me immediately." "Okay," you laughed, waving him off as he stepped outside. After a while, the bar was buzzing, filled with laughter, music, and glowing neon lights. You and Belu snaked a cozy corner booth, ordering rounds of soju and fried chicken. "To freedom!" Belu cheered, holding up her glass. "To freedom!" You echoed, clinking glasses with her. The two of you laughed uncontrollably, swapping stories and teasing each other. By the fourth round, you were tipsy, cheeks flushed, and words slurring slightly. You giggled, placing the glass on the table. She thought for a while and then nodded. She said, acting like a priest, and then you both laughed, making the other people roll their eyes. After 2 hours, "Why, Anya, I think I'm gonna head home now." You pouted playfully, tugging her sleeve. "Ah, already?" "I will text you when I get home, okay?" You waved as she left, wobbling slightly as you stood. The cool night breeze hit your face as she stepped out. Your steps uneven as you made your way towards your car parked down the street. Ugh, why is this stupid road spinning? You mumbled, pressing your hand to your forehead, and then you froze. There, under the glow of the street lamp, sat a familiar figure astride a black bike. The engine purred softly, the rider talked silhouette, leaning casually forward. It was none other than Jungkook. You recognized those piercing eyes instantly, your breath hitched. "No way, I must be dreaming. He's my hallucination. But I'm gonna not let this set go." You smirked and winked at him. Jungkook smiled slowly, lowering his helmet visor and stepping off the bike in one smooth motion. His boots clicked against the pavement as he walked towards you, every step deliberate and slow. "So you think you are dreaming and you can do anything, hmm?" His voice was slow and teasing. "You are not real. You can't be." He chuckled deeply. "I am real. You just look unreal." "Oh, is that so?" Your heart pounding wildly despite the soju clouding your thoughts. The world spun around just because of him. His voice dropped to a husky whisper. I know you like me, little one. Your eyes widened slightly, but before you could deny or even speak, he smacked knowingly. Your personal diary. It accidentally got swapped with Belu's notebook the other day. I read it. What? You stammered, gulping. Your fantasies about me. Your cheeks burned. I am. You whispered. Betraying the fact that he was blushing just as much as you were. His dark eyes softened, and for a fleeting second, he looked almost shy. He murmured, his voice low and affectionate, his blush deepening. The right back felt like a dream, wind wiping around you. It was fast, thrilling, and felt like freedom. After a while, he stopped the bike outside your house and turned back to you with that signature smirk, though his eyes carried something gentler this time. Sweet dreams. Then he sped off, disappearing into the night. You stood there for a moment, still lost in him. You pushed the door open and stepped inside quietly and froze. Right there on the living room couch was Jungkook, Jimin. Their eyes widened in absolute horror when they noticed you standing there silent as a statue. You blinked once, then twice, but instead of reacting, you simply sighed dreamily and floated past them as if nothing was wrong, heading straight for your room. Jimin and Belu exchanged a horrified glance. She didn't even say anything, she whispered. Jimin frowned, watching you disappear into your room. They both turned towards each other, utterly baffled. While upstairs, you collapsed onto your bed, hugging your pillow while your lips curving into a love-struck smile. Why my imaginations are feeling like reality? You muttered and dozed off.